When one thinks about the global phenomenon that is the Pokemon franchise, Satanism is likely to be one of the last things that's associated with it. But that is exactly what certain Christian groups did, accusing the franchise of involving the practice of catching demons and winning magical talismans. Not only were these demons, but evolving demons. The thought of evolution, of course, being a terrible sin in the eyes of some fundamentalist Christians. These concerns were finally brought to rest when the Pope himself gave the franchise his blessing, stating that it is free from any harmful moral side effects and is actually based on intense friendship. But how about other unusual themes that have been linked to the innocent world of Pokemon, where, unlike the Satanism claims, censorship actually followed? Let's kick things off with one you might be familiar with. Edits were made to Jynx over criticism that their design was reminiscent of blackface iconography. Some instead see their design as being inspired by such things as the female Ganguro fashion trend, but despite this, the Pokemon had its skin color changed to purple in Western versions of Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. This change would then go on to be made to all other Pokemon media, including that from Japan. Another, lesser-known edit to avoid possible racist connotations was made to Registeel in non-English PAL versions of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. While in most of the world the Pokemon's battle sprite shows them raising an arm in a manner similar to the Nazi salute, the censored version places their arm by their side, which is how all previous and future models of Registeel appear. Even though its target market is children, sexuality has also been a theme for censorship in most Pokemon media, with both cards and the anime being altered for English audiences. Alongside this, various games have been edited as well. Pokemon Colosseum saw the sidekick character Rui's skirt and top lengthened in non-Japanese versions. Additionally, some of the Pokemon trainer classes in the main games have been made less suggestive for Western versions. Male swimmers no longer wear briefs in the Generation 4 games, nor Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and sprites of the female swimmers from Generation 2 winking was deemed too risque. Another trainer whose seductive wink was removed was the Beauty from Gold and Silver, but this time their outfit was also changed with their skirt being lengthened. Then there are the Generation 3 Psychics, who no longer have their hands located in front of their chest, possibly due to concerns over the small, low-resolution screen of the Game Boy giving the impression that her hands are doing something inappropriate. There's even more censorship in regards to the sprites of the trainer classes if you extend the scope outside of sexuality. The sailors from Generation 3 originally performed a gesture found offensive in some European countries, and the fishermen from Gold and Silver have their cigarette removed. Then there are the mediums and sages from Gold and Silver, which saw removed religious references. Interestingly, all of the cases of censorship of the Gold and Silver titles was retained in the Japanese version of Crystal, the later Generation 2 game. The next cause of controversy is gambling, with numerous edits in the games made to distance itself from this theme. Starting with the Gambler trainers who, while still called this in Japan, were renamed to Gamers in Western versions of Fire Red and Leaf Green, and then PIs in Generation 4. Another gambling theme censored in Platinum, but this time only for Europe, is the slot machines in Veilstone City's Game Corner, which were made unplayable, as well as the removal of all other references to gambling in this area, such as the building sign. This change was due to PEGI, the European rating organization's stricter stance on gambling content and the developers not wanting the game to receive a higher rating. The next games to be released were Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and the gamer corners were censored yet again, although now all non-Japanese versions were affected. Unlike Platinum, where the slot machine minigame was simply made unplayable, this time it was replaced with a card flipping game. However, it appears that later titles in the series would instead do away with the trouble that this element was causing, as the game corners are completely removed from all versions. There is one other case of censorship in the Pokemon video games, and it was best to save it for last due to not wanting to turn anybody away, which, by the way, you should do right now if you're sensitive to flashing lights. Comparable to the infamous Computer Soldier Porygon episode of the anime, which caused hundreds of Japanese children to suffer from seizures due to its use of strobe lighting, Pokemon Red and Blue were edited when released outside of Japan due to the screen's intense flashing effects when using the move Thunderbolt and Body Slam. As always, thanks for watching. Censored Gaming is the definitive resource for censored gaming. Make sure you're subscribed to stay up to date with the latest edits and changes in games. Thanks for watching. I've been your narrator, Rob, and if you'd like to see more of my content, you can check me out over at Rob Plays Those Games.